Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's LinkThat ONE webinar. My name is Bettina, and I'm delighted to have you with us. Today, our product manager Harald will guide you through the session. We will spend about 30 minutes exploring ONE, our fully integrated customer service platform. ONE brings together all channels, processes, and tools into one central cockpit. Whether telephony, written communication, AI automation, or customer data systems. All LinkThat products, as well as a wide range of telephony and CRM solutions from our partners, are already seamlessly integrated. We've been working on ONE intensively over the past months, and it's time to show you what's new. The highlights? EU data control, the new omnichannel widgets, and interactive data analysis. We will also look at full service integration, from customer pop-ups to AI automation, using the English version of Echo in Salesforce. And now, I'm happy to hand over to Harald. Enjoy!
Thank you, Bettina, for this nice introduction. And I'm happy to show you now the new version of LinkThat ONE. We have been working on it at least half a year. Actually, we launched the first version in February, and since then we talked to our customers and tried to find out what are the most meaningful functions that we can add to our service portal. And now you will see the result of this. Let's just log into the system now. Everyone familiar with the first version of LinkThat ONE knows the desktop view already. You can see all of our integrated LinkThat products here, and you have your most useful shortcuts for each product, so you can step right into where you need for your daily business. So for example, for the LinkThat Cube, which is our CTI and API solution, you have the links to your CRM system. Well, probably you don't use 4 CRM systems at once. So here would be, for example, your Salesforce link, so you can step right into the CRM system. Then for the LinkThat Echo, which is our voice AI, we can step into the Echo Auto Attendant, the Echo Agent Assist, which we call Echo Advisor, and the Echo Analytics functions. And the other products, I don't want to go into so much detail now. Our contact center functions are also inside this view, and our automatic document processing, and as well the Teams integration services that we offer. For the beginning of this demo now, we want to focus on the Cube and the Echo. When both work together, you have your telephony system integrated with the CRM system. So the LinkThat Cube's functionality is actually that you have your telephony system. It can be an old PBX or something like this. It will be in the background, but every functionality of this telephony system is displayed right in the CRM user interface. And this is what I will launch now. And then inside our soft phone, so you control your calls and customer interactions, of course, with a soft phone inside the CRM system. And inside our soft phone, we will see the AI voice functionality. So there will be an agent assist function that shows you useful keywords, and then there will be the call summary. So this will be the very practical part in the beginning of our demo session now. And then we will come back to the LinkThat ONE interface, and then I will show you other functionalities that we were working on, like the topics and the reporting and the interactive data analysis. So all those functions will be shown after this short use case demo. So let's just step into the Salesforce interface. We are in the Lightning console. I will just close some tabs that I had opened from before. So this button down here actually opens and closes our LinkThat soft phone. So we can see that we are ready, that we are on the status available. So here you have the function to actually sync your status across multiple channels and applications. And we are booked into many queues here. The queue we want to call is the Echo service queue. So LinkThat Echo will assist us during the call. So for this, I will actually now start on my phone the call. So you can see here that I'm calling in, and the system recognized me as David Hoffman. It shows also the company I work at, and when so in the background actually there is already the whole data sheet from Salesforce opened. So me as a service agent, so I have to mute myself here because otherwise I'm in both microphones at the same time, which is not good. Yeah, so I know already exactly who I'm talking to. As a service agent, I pick up and I know who it is. And I already mentioned one of our keywords. So I wanted to direct your attention to this little icon here, which is the LinkThat Echo functionality. Echo is always waiting for keywords that are configured in the background. And since I said service agent, the first keyword is already open. Let me mention the other keywords. The next one would be internet. And then the last one for this use case would be supervisor. Yes. So actually, let's hang up now. We have a lot of after work time configured in this demo environment, so I can just switch back without further prolonging the call. This will be important for the call summary, because otherwise there is a lot of nonsense in the automatic call summary, because I would keep talking about the keywords and the functionality. So it's better if I just quit the call now and explain you what happened. So when I mentioned the service agent a bit unexpectedly early, so I wanted to actually ask about the service request, and then it actually did, so LinkThat Echo did the request to the Salesforce API, and it listed for me an open case. So me as a service agent, I can click on this case right inside the soft phone, and the case would be open, and I see all the details here, and yeah, know what maybe here the history is a bit more useful. Yeah, so I can actually just step right into cases that are relevant to whatever was mentioned. So it could be the keyword offers, and then all the open offers are listed. What also happens when I open this case is another useful functionality of our soft phone. So here we have the attachments on the side, and since I opened this case in Salesforce, this happens with every case I open, this is now a possible attachment that I can, with this box, tick, and so right now the customer David Hoffman and his case, they are both attached to this call. So if I forward this call to a colleague, he would also see both of those items. So he's well prepared to take over the call. Back to the LinkThat Echo functionality. When I mentioned the keyword internet, it opened a troubleshooting website. So in this case, the service agent can just step into the website and yeah, go through the troubleshooting together with the customer. For example, this can be any link, of course, that you want. It can also be an email address. It can also just be text. So you can really put here whatever is useful in any kind of topic that is mentioned. And the last keyword was the supervisor. So if the caller requests to talk to the supervisor, we have here automatically a phone number, and if I click this, the soft phone of course opens a new call, and you can connect the caller to the supervisor. Yeah, so we go back to the after work screen that automatically opened when I hung up the call on the phone. Here we have the option, so it's actually configurable in the soft phone options, if the summary for the call should automatically be generated, or if I have to click on this load button. Depends how you need it. So now that I clicked on the summary button, Genau, requested assistance during noise interference. Well, this was when I explained in the beginning. They mentioned specific keywords. Okay, yeah, this was still a bit of a technical. Yeah, the summary. Of course, if it's a normal service call, then this would be a proper summary. And this is automatic. Now I can actually wrap up the call. I also have, additionally to the summary field, I also have another field for just notes to take for this call. And now when I wrap up this afterwork, it also opens the call log automatically in the background. Let's just close everything for a second because I want to step back into the call history function of the softphone. So here I see that David Hoffman called, and I can with one click also open the call log from before. And here I can see that the automatic summary is put into this field that is actually called summary. Oops, now I stepped into the edit mode. I can see that there's also other fields filled in, like the call duration, 1 minute and 2 seconds. And here are my notes that I put in. And this is an exciting functionality of Echo. All the keywords that were mentioned, which are the topics that the call was about, service, internet, and supervisor, are automatically put into this field. So we called it Echo for now. Of course, you know that Salesforce is configurable, and you can just put custom fields here, and we can actually put certain topics into certain fields for you. In this case, this might also be called like categories. So actually you have automatic call categorization. So you know that this call was about service, about internet, and about supervisor. Yeah, so much for the Salesforce view and our softphone and the Echo functionality inside of it. Let's close Salesforce again now, because those topics that were saved, this is actually one of the main functions now of our LinkThat ONE interface. So those topics that you might already know from phone calls and from Echo, because Echo actually puts those topics automatically after a call. So you can actually, you have a unified interface here now in the LinkThat ONE interface, and you can define your topics that you actually want to know about. So we actually configured here internet and service. Those were two of the keywords that were mentioned before. They are configured for this queue that we just used. So yeah, those two keywords that were saved for this call will go into the reporting possibilities that you have into of LinkThat ONE. The big benefit of this new, so we had this as a subside of Echo before, but now it's actually its own menu item, because as you can see here in this table, you can activate and deactivate it for every kind of interaction. So you can use it for phone calls, you can use it for chats, you can use it for emails, and you can also activate it for the total sum of interactions. The LinkThat cube icon always represents the total amount of all interactions that you have on all channels. So yeah, we activated the service and the internet for the phone calls. So those two keywords that we just used will be in the reporting. What is also possible when you edit those, you can actually put synonyms. So internet might also be, the topic internet might not just happen when internet is detected as intent, but it might also be when it's about connection or something like this. So you can actually put synonyms here. Yeah, and what happens with those topics? For this, we actually step now into the sub page of LinkThat Echo, and here you can see our very new dashboard. This is completely new in the second version of LinkThat ONE. So you can see many functions and many KPIs for reporting and for a quick overview. about your products. And as we can see here in this widget, so basically the dashboard consists of widgets. Here are all the topics that were mentioned today. So the top topics, the top 10, we don't even have 10 configured, I think. No, it's exactly 10 actually. And as you can see, internet and service is one of the top topics today. Of course, you can configure how many you want to see there and what are the criteria to see them here. Yeah, so those dashboards are now a core functionality of all of our products. So let's just click between those. Also the color styling, of course, fits for the product, so you always know where you are and which channel you are currently looking at. So for emails it would be the green prism look, and you can also see the current topics of the email channel. And many other functions, of course, and reporting possibilities. You might have noticed maybe that there is a little tick box in the top right of each widget, and this is currently ticked. This means this widget it's pinned because it's important for you, and what this means is actually you can go back to the main page now. Here we saw the link buttons before, but actually there are two new functions on this main page. So when you step into LinkThat ONE, next to the desktop, you also have the dashboard option. So since we ticked the keyword, where are they actually? They are here actually. So the top phone call topics for LinkThat Echo are now on our dashboard, so you can bring all the most important information that you need from each channel, from each product, also from external products, into this view. And what you can also do, let's just say that these are the top chat topics that you have, and those are the top phone call topics. So you can go ahead and just use this little link icon. Then you can try to merge it with other widgets, but it will not work in most cases. But if it's the same kind of widget, you can actually combine them, and now you see that all the keywords from both channels are combined. So you can either go even go further and use the total interaction topics. Well, this doesn't really make sense, but let's just do it instead, despite of it, I mean. So now we merged three different, not really three different channels because we use the total interactions. Yeah, so you can merge all the similar widgets and combine their data in this view. What else can we do? We can merge those two. So we decided that the hourly calls, the hourly data actually would also be always be like dots in the graph, and this is actually the daily data, which would be a line graph, and bar charts for the weekly data. So by using this strategy, we can also say that it's allowed to merge this line chart, not with the other two, because this would not make sense. You don't want to have the daily data on top of the hourly data. This is this doesn't help you at all, I guess. But you can merge it with other daily data. So now we combined two daily data sets, and you can see how many CRM cases you had and how many chats you had on those days. Yeah, there's nothing else we can merge for now. We can of course step into another product and say the outgoing emails are important for me, and maybe the hourly incoming emails. And in the Teams view, we can say the daily messages are important. So now that we go back, we have a few more charts now, and we could merge. It's quite fun. I really like to do this. So now we merged the email and the chat data. No, the calls, sorry. And let's just merge those two, so it's a bit more neatly organized. Yeah. So and this one is also the cube today. Maybe you noticed it on some other pages. Let's use Echo again. The Echo today, it has it's like a mini version of the wallboards we offer for some of our customers. So all the most important KPIs that are based on some calculations like service level and so on are into, they are like little live panels that actually change every 5 seconds. It's configurable, but 5 seconds maybe is a smart way to do it, to not have too many requests. And if we actually tick this one, Back on this main dashboard, we can also combine the two of them. So now we have Echo Today and Cube Today widget with the combined data of both of them. And it's, yeah, their pages are now merged. So we have 5 pages instead of 2 times 3 pages as before. Yeah, this is the widget functionality. A pretty exciting possibility is also it's part of the Cube now. Inside the Cube, because Cube is not just our CTI solution anymore of combining the CRM systems and the telephony systems, but it's also our flexible API solution. So with the Cube, you actually have the possibility to create custom widgets. And here you could put, or you can put, I don't have a URL now in the autocomplete, you can put an API endpoint and you can put the login data for this API or the parameters that you want. And yeah, you can fill it up with custom data. So exactly those widgets that we have, like Echo Today and Cube Today, would have the endpoint data displayed here. But I'm just superficially mentioning this because this will be one of the core topics in our next webinar. So yeah, look forward to seeing those custom widgets in our next session. And yeah, we continue after we mentioned the topics that we have. We continue with our reporting view. Yeah. So here you can see a few new fields compared to the previous version of LinkThat ONE. We have a drop-down for the just mentioned topics. So you could actually just select data that is concerning internet or connection. You have also, you can choose which KPIs to display. For now, we just display the total numbers. And the other filters are, of course, the same. Here you can already see the data from last week, and you can activate and deactivate all the channels that are relevant for you. So if we want to see only calls, here are the outbound calls. You can see how many were there on each day. Yeah, and below you also have a table that makes it a bit more clear, and you can also have an export to have everything as CSV file. You can also now drill down into this data. So if you click on a day, you can see the development throughout the day, from opening until closing of your service center. And you can also go into the detailed details where you can see the effects about each interaction. Anonymized, of course, so there's no customer mentioned here, but you can see what was going on. Here you also have the amount of calls and emails. So for each channel you can check how many were there, and you can like estimate how what the percentage of each channel was. The new function here is actually the most exciting new function is the Explore Your Data button. So as mentioned, there is an interactive data analysis possible now. And what happens if we click on this? It opens our chat down here. So the data chat is actually a completely new functionality, maybe the most important new functionality that was just hidden here in this little icon. We can actually pin this to the side. So if you always want to be interactive with your data, you can have it here. And this button actually put the first sample question already. What was the average call time yesterday? Let's say on Friday. And down here is already selected. So you have different options, which I will go into detail in a minute. But it pre-selected, since we clicked this button, it pre-selected Analyze Contact Channel Data. And if we click on this button, it will now analyze the data that it receives from the LinkThat ONE interface, or from the LinkThat ONE databases actually. So the average handling time for inbound calls, so it assumes, actually, we told it to do that, it assumes inbound calls if you just ask for the call time. So the average handling time for inbound calls on Friday was 205 seconds. And on Thursday, and it was 200 on Thursday. How about rates? Yeah, so you can really see, so it mentions Friday and Thursday now because it was not clear what I mean. So yeah, it's smart, of course, and it, yeah, it's interactive and it helps you to dig through your data. And if I do a new request, I can also like, what was the most popular topic on Friday? Was update. So you can also use this chat, of course, to search through content. So the LLM that runs in the background gets yeah, all the relevant data that we have stored. This is one of the very big benefits of LinkThat ONE actually. We have the contact channel data stored in a database in a very abstract way. So we have all the needed KPIs for each channel. We have the topics that each interaction was about. And what that means is actually you are completely independent from the solution you are using in the background. For example, if you have a contact center solution from Avaya, we have this data in an abstract way inside our LinkThat ONE database. And that means you can actually switch. Even the LinkThat Cube helps you a lot. So you can just switch to another telephony system, but your reporting will stay consistent because all the data will stay there. So this is another benefit of LinkThat ONE and its new data structure. Mentioning data structure, actually the chat can do much more than just explore the contact channel data. As we saw here in this dropdown, there are some other possibilities. So despite, besides real-time data, we also have the LinkThat ONE datasets, which are those here configured in our demo environment. And I just used this little AI chat data configure icon. For me as an administrator, this is available. Probably you don't want this for every user of your company, but an administrator can configure those datasets. So we can see here that this list actually corresponds to those datasets that we have here. And for example, we have the LinkThat facts of 2025, and we have information about our products here. We also have a PowerPoint, we have CSVs in some datasets, and even a Word file down here. So what we do actually is just convert them to text. So we extract all the useful text that is in each document, and then the chat can work with this. So for example, we could use the LinkThat facts now. What are the main functions of LinkThat Echo? What are the, let's say, 3 main functions of LinkThat Echo? Because those should be clear. So it has 3 modules: attendant, advise, and analytics. It found this in the dataset. Can you give me so you can also work with it to help you do some. So now it actually made a list. Yeah, so you know those chats by now for sure. You know GPT, you know Gemini probably. So yeah, you have a chat like this for your company data inside LinkThat ONE now. So you can analyze your contact channels, your data of interactions with customers, and also your custom data pools that you create on your own inside the settings. Yeah, and as we mentioned, this is available in the private cloud, in the public cloud, and you can use it locally. So even the LLM that is powering this chat can be installed on your hardware. Of course, the hardware requirements are quite high, so you can choose if you want to use it in the private or public cloud, or if you want to use it on your local systems. But yeah, the possibility is here that you can have those chat functionalities with your data and with your contact channel data inside your own infrastructure. So you're completely independent on any political decision on any other company, so you have it up and running, and yeah, your data is safe. Yeah, this was the actually very big new feature of LinkThat ONE. namely the data chat. So yeah, you can really analyze everything you need. Basically, you can just upload and extend your data sets and then just ask about whatever is in there. So the chat will do some heavy lifting for you. You can also create new data sets, of course, and yeah, then the list goes on. This would be here. Yeah, this was the despite the topics and reportings, this was the second very big improvement or the new feature of LinkThat ONE. And to wrap it up, actually, yeah, let's go back to the dashboard for now. I wanted to switch to the dark mode before because this is actually much more pleasant to look at. So now we can see actually everything looks maybe a bit more modern. I mean, it depends on your preferences, but I really prefer this view. Yeah, we are back on the dashboard now. So we saw the desktop before with the useful links. We saw the desktop. Did I say desktop? And we saw the dashboard with the widgets. And what is the third one? It's AI agents. What is hiding behind this? It's so far it's a prototype connected to our Kubernetes updates. So we are doing some refactoring or some technological upgrades actually to all of our services. So what is the reason for that? Is that you have so depending on where you host it, on the private cloud, on the public cloud, or on your own system, you always want to use your resources as meaningful as possible, for sure. So what we have here is actually a view that shows you how many resources you have. This is like an abstract calculation, including your CPU cores and your GPUs that are in use. So each of our AI features actually uses a certain amount of CPU cores and a certain amount of GPU space or yeah, the resources. And here you can see that actually you can see what those resources are used for. So currently there are 4 phone calls. So those 5 phone calls are supported by LinkThat Echo. So the resources are here currently. Then you can see that there are probably a lot of incoming emails right now. So there are 2 Prism agents working on those emails. It looks very heavy now. A lot of interactions going on. Okay, so now all the resources are used actually. And what is the strategy behind this? Of course, you want to have as little hardware necessary as possible, as needed, and we can allocate those resources across different products. So here we have configured for the Echo agent and for the Prism agent, so phone calls are assisted and emails are processed. But we know also from historic data from the phone channel, of course, that after 4 p.m., for example, there are much less calls than before. So then you have the opportunity to actually allocate those resources starting at 4 p.m. to the email automation. So the strategy of Kubernetes is actually to be very flexible with your resources and to actually use them where they are currently needed. And this AI agent view, as I said, this is a prototype so far, that displays us what is happening in the background. So this is really a first approach to actually look behind the curtain of what the AI is doing in the background. So you really have to you really have an insight what's going on and maybe how you can allocate your resources better. Yeah, so those are now the main views. When you log out and you log in into the LinkThat ONE interface, you also stay on the same tab that you are. So if you are a supervisor and you always want to see the pinned widgets that you have, then you can just be sure that this is always the default view for you. If you're an agent and you need the links constantly, then it's better probably to have those links open. Yeah, so this whole main page is very interactive and very flexible. Yeah, and the core of our new LinkThat ONE update. And with this, actually, we reached the end of our demo. slightly above 30 minutes. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. We will go into much more detail in the next few sessions, of course. We hope you enjoyed the features, and we are very happy if you send us your feedback, because this was developed together with our customers, and we are very happy for each new idea and improvement and change that might be useful also for other customers. So feel free to reach out to us, and together we will create a even more useful LinkThat ONE interface. So thank you very much for watching this demo together with me, and I give it back to Bettina to wrap the webinar up.
Thank you, Harald. We hope you enjoyed today's insights and found some inspiration in the new features. If you have any questions, drop them in the YouTube chat or send us an email at contact@linkthat.eu. We are already preparing our next webinar, which will focus on SAP while continuing our deep dive into EU data control. You will find more information in the coming weeks on linkthat.eu, in our newsletter, and across our social media channels. And a quick sneak peek. Next year, we'll be back at CCW in Berlin. We're excited to welcome you at our booth in hall number 1. Thank you so much for joining us today. On behalf of LinkThat, I wish you a wonderful day and see you next time.